All right, today we're in London. We're at Parthian Climbing Gym, and we've got a very special guest coming with us today.
So anyone that consumes climbing content regularly on YouTube should recognize this face. This is Hannah Morris. She's awesome. We popped over to London for a quick pit stop, and we're gonna do our first major collaboration. And Hannah, you want to explain what we're doing today?
Yeah, first of all, thanks very much for having me.
Thank you very
Honoured
much.
to be your first big collaboration. Today we are going to be doing a movement analysis, a comparison between myself, an amateur climber with a fair amount of experience, but still very much in that kind of intermediate bracket, and Maddie, who you know because it's their channel. Yeah, so Zach's going to be comparing some footage of us on some boulders here at Parthian.
Let's get started.
Let's go.
So this looks fairly complicated for a V3-4.
Yes, there's some small holds going on as well.
Yeah,
and I think any time I see a boulder like this where all of the holds are basically vertical, I immediately start thinking it's going to be bouncy. It's going to be throwing me off to the side.
For sure, yeah. Okay, so you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Oh, nice. Come on.
Taking the silent gym to heart.
So I reached it, right? Honestly, in terms of this move, that's just the amount that makes it doable.
And were you right on the tips of your toes? Or do you reckon I could get a little bit more?
Well, I was twisting into it too, which usually when you twist, you can get your max reach.
Sure. Okay.
Which I was
this
doing.
Is good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe you can just get a couple fingers on it.
Yeah, and it's good, right?
It
looks
super
like a
good.
nice hold.
The best hold in the climb, probably. Yeah. Big payoff if you get that crimp.
Kind of wanna.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Do it, come on. Yes.
That couldn't have been much slower. You'll see a theme developing with, oh wait, maybe I should stop chatting and top this.
Nice.
Nice, okay. So, I must say, I had tried that once before. Yeah, I had tried it once before, and what I changed between the first go I tried it and this go was I swapped this up.
Yeah, instead of crossing through, you switched here, I think, and then put your left foot there.
Yeah.
And then you were able to put your right foot there, which gave you the reach for the next move. That was perfect.
And I think it just felt, even though the foot swap itself was maybe a little bit more risky, I felt a little bit better set up for the next move.
For sure.
And then there was quite a lot of hesitation going to that.
I was like, when you're there, I'm like, just pop, just go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so now we're at the analysis portion of the video. So we have the footage from the climbs that we just did loaded up on the laptop, and we're gonna watch it back and compare Maddie's climbing movements to Hannah's and see what we can find. So we started on the red, the crimpy one.
Yes, so this red V3 to 4, I think it was.
Yeah, maybe Canada V5 or something.
I'm really relieved to hear that, actually. I'm just gonna use that as my excuse every time I'm climbing.
Of course, yeah.
From now.
So we're gonna pause it at this first moment. So this is when we're gonna work our way through these couple crimps. So already you can see sort of Maddie's instincts are kicking in. Maddie's finger strength is actually really quite good. She could probably do whatever she wanted to on these two crimps, but her body just naturally wants to find the easiest way to do it. Sure. And this is a common theme that we like to talk about a lot in climbing, and that's simply the hips. And you can see she's making great use of her mobility here, and her hips are just right up against the wall. All of her center of gravity is being perched over this foothold, meaning that her hands are weighting these crimps a lot less. And so it's a lot less strain. And I'm curious to see, check out how you were doing that move, because I remember you're definitely doing quite the powerful sequence through these couple crimps. You're actually achieving like a very similar effect. Your hips are coming in really close, which is good. That was helping definitely with the pressure that you're putting on your left hand. But Maddie took it even a step further, and her mobility allowed her to do this, where she actually had her right foot was still on the wall, while basically doing the same move that you were doing with your hips in, so she could take even more weight off her hands. But it was definitely good that your body naturally sucked your hips in really close, and you did a good thing for that move. But then, what was the logic with the cross under?
So the two like crimps that you can see, let me think about this. The right hand one is significantly worse than the left hand one. So because you then have to move leftwards, I opted to take the right hand one with my left hand, even though it's slightly worse, and then like do this really awkward like cross through and not very much space, where my shoulder was kind of getting in the way, into the crimp that I felt more comfortable with, because then I knew once I was there I'd have a little bit of respite and I could like crank to go out this way.
Yeah, so that's cool to hear your logic behind that actually. That makes a lot of sense, and that was smart thinking. I think the logic was there, and at the end of the day, as long as you're making decisions on the wall and you have a good reason, that's all you can ever ask for, right? We can't ask you to know which sequence is better, because you just don't know, you haven't climbed the boulder before. But if you're just really thinking critically and you have a good reason and you're doing your best, then that's really good. So that's good.
Nice.
Good logic
I'm
behind
glad
that
to hear
comment.
that.
Yeah. And then I was also curious to see how you guys approached the layback sequence. Maddie was really good at like laying back and keeping her arms nice and straight, and really sort of, you have your axis, like your line that you don't want to cross when you're in a layback. You want to kind of stay as far away from it as possible. Maddie was doing a pretty good job at doing that. So let's check out your footage and pay attention to what was going on.
Yeah, what I'm expecting to see in comparison with Maddie is a lot of like defensive arm positions in my climbing, whereas like what you just pointed out there was Maddie is like super efficient in the way she has her like arms outstretched to navigate this section.
The name of the game here, with climbers wanting to really bend their arms and pull, is just all about security.
Yeah.
Like this is, you just feel your muscles engaging. You feel like you have control when you want to bend your arm, or when you are bending your arm, and it's just all about security. And then the more advanced you get, the more you realize how important the element of trust and commitment is just in bouldering, like on almost every move.
Yeah, I think I definitely relate to that. The almost a reluctance to leave the safety of the like static bent arm position. But in like bouldering, especially modern bouldering, there's so many instances where you just kind of have to, like you're not designed, the boulder is not wanting you to stay in positions statically. You're moving between them in more of a flow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that those were a couple good elements on that boulder to look at.
Matching out, left foot up, right foot up high, mantle, left.
I like it so far.
And then
Big move.
like freestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors, who goes first?
I'm going first.
I've sent Maddie first.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be careful with these little chips. Sometimes you feel good and then it just
Squeaky,
blows.
yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Okay, well, luckily
Ah.
it's right there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Epic. That's a good choice.
I didn't think that my flexibility would get me up to that from the small thingy.
Well, when I put my foot up, I did feel, I was like, whoa, actually I got a lot of weight on my
Yeah.
hands right now. But yeah, this is just like a symptom of me just like knowing what I can do and not necessarily following the correct beta. So I'd say even in this case, you did the climb better than me. I might have made it look maybe smoother, but you followed the beta way more to a T than I did.
Do you think that would have been like how it was intended to go out and then up?
For sure. I like when I got up, I was like, oh, there's also a hand over, a huge hand over there. And
okay.
I kind of pressed on it for a second. It wasn't really necessary.
Yeah, I think that couldn't have been that much worse. Before I wouldn't have been able to like use it to pull up on.
Yeah,
But it was like just enough that I felt I could like drag it and get up.
yeah.
Nice. That was awesome. I think we have some good climbs to choose from and look through some analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put them in the supercomputer.
Absolutely.
Good job.
All right. All right, so yeah, so I'm trying to remember this boulder. Okay, let's watch Maddie's first try. Oh, yes. So Maddie got her foot high for the sequence, and you did, you kept your foot low for it, right?
Yes. Yeah, I opted to go out left to the hold and then try and bring my right foot up. I think because it just felt bunched.
Yeah. Did you test out the high foot with Maddie's method, or did you just kind of immediately think,
I think I kind of like started to weight the left foot to bring it up and thought, no, I don't like that, and then drop back down.
At the end of the day, the bigger picture with maybe Maddie's high foot beta versus your lower foot beta is, I think the more experienced of a slab climber you are, the more you realize that more often than not, slabs are going to be more lower body dependent and often not set in a powerful way. And so Maddie's slab climber instincts are kicking in here, and she's her body's trying to find a way to take weight off of her hands and not do such a powerful move up to this edge. So she sees, okay, I can tell if I get my right foot up to this foothold, I'm perched on it, all my weight's on my lower body, and that's kind of the name of the game with slab climbing. And then we can see you are just sort of thinking more of like the sequence and how to climb the boulder, what makes sense like in terms of the hand moves. And you think, okay, I mean, I have my foot here and the high foot feels too high, but I see the next handhold doesn't reach, and I'm just gonna try and grab the hand. And the bigger picture is to like always try and find like the ways to make a slab less powerful, put more weight on your lower body. And I think that's where Maddie's instincts kicked in really well. And let's check out this last move too. You did a really good job trusting this foot as it was squeaking on you, I must say. Yeah, and did you grab the jug or did you just touch the bottom of it?
I almost like pressed, it wasn't like a full press, but I like leaned into it rather than like grabbed over the top of it. But I also had my left heel in, just for like extra bit of security, like as I was tilting right, I was like, I'm just gonna put that in there so that I don't like twist off, which worked quite well for me.
Yeah, what did Maddie do? She just kind of, she kind of reached the top of it, yeah. Yeah, that was nice, like especially with, because you could tell that you weren't gonna just be able to reach the jug, so you needed to sort of lean over for it more a little bit, and that heel hook is really good. Do you have an idea of also like why that heel is helping you?
No.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. There's not like one answer. I was just curious to see if you could think of something. I think, well, I mean, for one, 2 feet on the wall is nice.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the most important thing is this foot is pretty garbage, right? It's slopey, it's squeaking on you, it's not a fun time. But what is like the golden rule with these sort of feet that are bad? It's pressure. You just, the more pressure, the better. And sometimes even our body weight isn't enough pressure. So just standing on a foot feels bad because that's not even enough pressure.
Yeah.
But when you put your heel on, you're actually squeezing your legs together a little bit, and now you're creating even more pressure on this foothold, and it's just helping you feel a bit more secure. And that was some really good instincts kicking in. You just increased that bit of pressure on that foothold.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that myself.
Okay, so Maddie has run off into the gym to do more training, so she's not joining us for the outro. But big thank you to Hannah for reaching out to us. She's like gave Maddie and I a really incredible opportunity to come meet her and Nathan and do some videos with her, learn more what it's like to be a pro rock climbing YouTuber. So big thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. It was really nice to have you guys in London.
And then also we're doing a collaboration, of course, so that we're gonna do a video on Hannah's channel, which maybe is before or after, we don't know, but definitely go head on over to Hannah's channel if you haven't already and subscribe and check out the other video as well. Awesome.